about the motion.
I was going to say something along the lines of being Vivian. Like, I would totally get fake tits if I didn't like mine. Straight up. Like, if for whatever reason I didn't like them, which I know, like, having that like self-awareness is much more difficult as a woman, I can assume. But like, if they were too small or too saggy or whatever I didn't like, I get fake ones. I'd do it.
And we're back, guys. We're here to continue that great conversation from last week.
Oh shit, we're rolling.
We are always rolling. We'll make it quick because I hope you guys are anxious to hear the rest of our conversation. It was a great conversation. Again, shout out to Belle for producing this episode. Great job. Welcome to the Damage Goods Podcast / Sarcastically Sincere Podcast, episode 88/4.5, 30, 25, 34.
34 and 3/4.
Yeah, whatever. As usual, I am Ramon.
I'm Danielle.
I'm Belle.
Hi guys, I'm Matt. I was waiting for you.
It's funny because last week you said it at the same time.
I know.
Anyway, we're back. We're not going to bore you with our weeks too long because we want to jump back into this conversation. But we took a break, and my God, I just saw Little Richard died.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, check the socials
Wow.
on the break, and Little Richard died. He was 87, so.
Fucking 2020.
Yeah, rest in peace to him. They say it typically come in threes, so. The other thing I'm surprised Danielle didn't bring up about her man Tekashi. And I've never seen, and it could be a generational thing, I've never seen somebody proudly be a rat and still have, like, I guess people don't care about that anymore. Like, if you take a quick gander at the video he just released and he went live on Instagram the other night, it's 2 million. First of all, look at the privilege. Even Mexicans get more privilege than some of us because he's still under arrest. They let him out of jail early because he was afraid he was going to get the coronavirus, and he's just serving 2 years in house arrest, but still gets to conduct his business as normal because he snitched. And he spent a lot of time on his platform saying justifying him snitching. Man, we could have a whole conversation about whether he was right or wrong, but I'm just amazed at how many people don't fucking care.
No,
like my generation, if you're a snitch, you're dead. And I just hope this guy is safe. Because if I was that type of lifestyle and lived that kind of lifestyle, and you snitched on me and you're out here flourishing, because in the past, if somebody snitched, they disappear,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're gone. And this guy is like blatantly out there.
Well, and they offered him, like, when you get out to, go into witness protection or whatever, and he denied it. He said, I don't want that because I want to record music and so on and so forth. And now that he's out, he recently asked the judge if he can record music videos at home out in his yard. So his security detail just got a raise because they're not just being a security detail. Now they're helping him produce and film music videos for his upcoming album.
Yeah, crazy. Anyway, that's all I had. So you guys want to... Oh, wait. What national day is it? I almost forgot.
Today is National Cherry Cobbler Day. So, cobbler comes in all different flavors. Today is all about the cherries. But you can...
Last week was about the cherries.
Last week was too. But you can put it, cherry cobbler you can use with, what'd you say, biscuits, and I've always done it with like a pie crust. But make yourself some cherry cobbler, maybe make some and share it with your neighbor as long as you're 6 feet away.
And don't forget the hashtag Cherry Cobbler Day.
Cherry Cobbler Day.
Now on to more important matters. We were talking about switching genders last week, and hopefully if you missed last week for whatever reason, you got to go back because I think it was a great conversation. I think we had a lot of fun, but I think there was a lot of insight out of the conversation too. So today we're going to switch and continue our conversation and talk to the ladies about how they would feel waking up being a man, or as Belle would say,
growing a dick.
It's funny because the screen froze and your face was just this solid face.
Yeah,
as
that's all I saw. I heard growing a dick. I was like, her mouth didn't move.
Well, that's a really real talent. We didn't know you could do that.
Pause.
All right, so Matthew, in the fashion of last week, we have to give the women a survival kit. I didn't think about this, but let's see. Do you know your answer already?
I actually do. Let me check it out here. Okay, so first and foremost, a goddamn toothbrush. Because women don't want to fucking talk to you if you don't brush those nasty ass teeth. So, if you're going to make it in a man's world, as a man, then, if you want to attract a mate, or, I mean, even if you want to be gay, I'm pretty sure you're going to have to brush those nasty ass teeth. Because that's just, it's a universal thing. Dental hygiene is super important.
Belle fell. Okay.
But it's even just a little bit more important as a man because, like I said, that's pretty gross. You don't want to be hitting on any person for that matter as a man with nasty ass teeth. Also, deodorant. I know women also use deodorant. It's also an adult thing for both men and women. But again, especially for men, because our must is it can be unbearable sometimes. Trimmer. So grooming products are important. I was in my bathroom when I thought of this. So, and then I was like, these are things as a man, like if I travel anywhere, these are the things I want to take with me. My deodorant. I want to take my trimmer because nobody likes hairy, sticky guys. Yeah, and a can of Axe, of course. Can't carry that one on the plane though. That's a checked item.
Okay.
So and money. Put money in your survival kit because if you don't have money, I mean, it's hard to be called a man. I mean, I'm not saying you're like less of a man without money. It's just hard to like get anywhere in life without money. I know, again, women also like making money, and that's great, but you don't have to necessarily show up at a bar with any money.
You're right.
To get a drink,
that's true. It's interesting. You made an interesting point that we didn't think about last week that as women, we could have chosen to date women. And now that I'm thinking back in retrospect, seems pretty hot.
I know. That's a great idea. I'd be swinging, on the other side of the fence like for the longest time until I'd have to get cool with the whole thing about getting stuff shoved in you. And I don't know about that. I'm still weird about that one.
Yeah. All right.
Again, talking about.
So since Matt has you guys ready to be groomed to be men, I would offer in my survival kit not necessarily a father figure, but at least a great mentor to help you shape yourselves into being a man. I think having a role model is important and someone to kind of help guide you through maleness.
I agree. You're going to make a lot of mistakes anyway, so.
Yeah. And I would arm you in your back pocket Matt's soon-to-be published book of one-line pickup lines.
Sure.
These are a lot more complicated than that. Have you heard? Did you hear the episodes?
It's not that easy.
Do you like mustard?
Oh my God.
It's an abbreviated version, but just for quick reference, you can have the full study guide at home. But when you're out, if you need a quick reference of what you got to do, I want you to be armed with that. So let's see. Questions for the ladies. What type of guy? And I guess, like we did, give your guy a name.
Yep.
Danielle, you want to go first?
Yeah, so I think that I would be named Jeff. Or I like the name. Okay, so my name came from my celebrity crush, which is Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and that's where I got my name.
All right.
So Jeff with a G or Jeff with a J?
Jeff with a J.
Okay, just making sure. Jeff with a G is just stupid.
I agree.
But still, you're just Jeff. I mean, that's.
Oh, this is the Winchester's dad.
Yeah.
I had to Google it.
He's also on The Walking Dead. Eventually,
he is. Yeah.
He is a handsome fella. Okay.
He is a very handsome fella.
I think so. Having a unique name now, I would probably want something a little more unique as a dude, but I can't think of anything that doesn't sound super feminine. So I'm gonna go with like Max. Got an X in it. It's pretty cool. I don't know.
I was just thinking Max Powers.
What the fuck is that? Is that a kid's show?
No, Max Powers is just a cool name.
Yeah, that's true.
Max Powers. That's my name.
You could be a spy. You could be a rapper. There's a lot of possibilities with that name.
Anything you want with that kind of
I
name.
could be anything I want with a name like Max and a penis, coincidentally.
It wouldn't be the same if your name was Max and you didn't have a penis. It'd be like, wait a minute, what?
Okay, so
right? Maxine.
Unless Maxine, never mind. If you're Maxine, I don't know if a lot of Maxines go by Max though. I just can't see it.
Yeah, no,
It'd be
they
weird
do.
for me.
They
It'd be
do.
weird for me. I would continue to call that woman Maxine.
That's why it's a problem.
You really like
Maxine.
old lady names.
He really does.
There's a reason for that.
All right, Jeffrey. What type of man would you be?
I think I'd be a funny guy.
Okay.
I think a lot of people like to be around a funny person. I find, and it's not just like comically funny, but I mean, a sense of humor is attractive too for any, the opposite sex, the same sex, whatever. So I'd want to be a funny guy.
Okay. Anything else about you? You just be funny?
Well, I mean, I'd be funny. I'd like to be, masculine. I'd like to have a beard.
Okay. If Jeff's personality is similar to yours, I imagine Jeff would get into a lot of bar fights.
Oh, yeah. Well, when Jeff was younger, he got into a lot of bar fights, but he grew up and now he can temper his attitude a little bit better.
I don't know why, but when she said Jeff and a funny guy, I'm thinking like some character off of The Office. That was the first thing that popped in mind. You're pushing paper, literally, like you're a paper salesman.
I'm not a paper salesman. I'm a little bit of a badass with my name.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do you have a job in mind or no? Since Matt brought it up.
Let's go talk to Max really quick and let me think of a job for Jeff.
Okay. Hi, Max.
Hi. I think Max would also be a funny person because, like, if it's me with a dick, it's basically going to be the same thing. So I think I'd be pretty fucking funny, but I'd also be cool as fuck too. I would be cool, okay? And I think I would go work for the FBI. Huh?
Hard to find guys like that funny and cool.
Yeah. I'd be working for the FBI, I think. I'd be like one of those 3-piece suit kind of guys.
See, now I just imagine Keanu Reeves from Breaking Point. Is that the name of the movie?
Hi. I'm Keanu.
What's the damn name of the movie with him and Patrick Swayze, where he was the FBI agent? Fuck.
That is Breaking Point.
It is called Breaking Point?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Matt knows all the Keanu movies.
Whatever, dude. No, I don't know all the Keanu movies. I know a few of them, but I know that one's Breaking Point. I know what you're talking about.
See, you already referring to me as dude. It's like a natural thing.
I mean, bro, come on.
Point Break. It's called,
Point Break.
Point Break.
Oh, I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that's who I imagine Max to be at based on your description. Okay.
that'd be so fucking cool. Anyway,
Okay, so I know who Jeff is.
Okay.
who's Jeff?
Jeff is a mechanic. He's a mechanic. He works on all sorts. He works on cars. He can work on he was in the military. He worked on airplanes.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
And now he's out of the military and he's grown himself a real nice beard. And now he's just a mechanic because he's good with his hands.
I'm going to ask a question that I didn't think about. Do you think as we picked our opposite gender personalities, we're like projecting things we're attracted to?
Yes.
I don't necessarily think that because, I'm not really into like guys in dress suits. I don't know. I'm more into Jeff than I'm into Max. I'm just saying.
Like she can probably assume that Jeff can mow a lawn, whereas Max You know,
Max doesn't mow lawns.
In a condo.
Let's just be honest. He pays for someone to mow his lawn. Just let's face it.
If he even has a lawn, he might live like in an apartment, like the story.
Yeah, I might say like a high rise or something. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
A high rise apartment.
No, it's funny because I was listening to Danielle describe her male self, her male alter ego, and I'm like, Danielle wants to fuck her male alter ego. And then I wasn't judging because I thought to myself, Gabrielle's pretty fucking hot. Yeah. So I think I projected a woman that I would be attracted to. And I had thought about that last week. What do you think? What would be the first thing you do when you woke up, Jeff?
Honestly, and I talked to Eric about this when I went upstairs, and he said, "Oh, well, I know the first thing that you would do. I'd swing my dick round and round."
Like an elephant.
No joke. That is the first thing I would do.
So Jeff has a big penis.
Yeah, no joke.
She said no joke.
Of course, like there's no way that they would volunteer to be a guy without a big penis. That is the stipulation here. I am not going.
They're not allowed.
I'm not crossing over without getting a huge schlong here. All right.
Duh.
So you would wake up as a man and be like, "Oh shit, I got a big dick," and then just swing it around.
Helicopter.
Well, that's what they could do.
Yeah, the joys of being a man.
Yeah,
even acting like a boy.
What about Max?
I'd probably take it for a test drive. Like, what does this thing do? Like, play around with it a little. That's what I would do. Okay. It's only natural.
Okay.
Why everybody's so quiet?
It's like 2 for 2 on the playing with the dicks. You know,
I mean,
like you can't play with them already right now. Do they just not let you? Or
I mean, it's arguably different when it's on your body. Come on now.
Isn't it already pretty much almost on your body?
Okay.
Oh. Okay. No. Yeah. No,
Versus on your face. This is a Sarcastically Sincere Podcast too, guys.
This is a safe
I'm just staying with the aesthetic.
This is a safe place. I would take it for a test drive. I'd probably try to stick it in something. I don't know. I don't know what that thing does. Something.
You know the funny part, Matt?
I don't know.
They're not far off.
They really are. Like these are things we had to learn too. It was difficult to figure these things out. Aiming right for the first 10 years was a pain in the ass.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's another thing I would do. I would just go pee outside anywhere.
Yo, I'm picturing this guy Jeff, and I think I'd like to fucking hang out with him.
I'd have a beer with Jeff.
Word. It's funny because y'all didn't want to hang out with Gabrielle or Vivian. Now, never once said that y'all would be friends with them.
No. Not really.
Shit. She was like, no, I don't like those bitches.
I'm not into bitches like that.
Not my cup of tea, personally.
Anyway.
Next
question.
You'd be in awe to be in our presence.
Oh.
Next question. Huh?
I'd probably be taking lessons. I'm like, how are you so girly? It's hard, man.
Yeah. Right.
Difficult.
When Matt said he, as a woman, he'd need to have better style. I'm still working on mine too.
Same.
Still can't dress as a woman. Still can't do my makeup.
Same. It's tough, man.
Right.
Gabrielle would have a makeup channel.
Yes,
she would do makeup tutorials online.
You'd have your eyebrows would be on fleek.
Yeah.
That's, as the children say.
I said that once when I worked at the bank, and my coworker, and she's from Newark, New Jersey, like me, and she looked at me once and she said, "Ramon, I need to talk to you seriously." I'm like, "What's up?" She's like, "You're not allowed to ever say on fleek ever again." So I haven't. Okay, let's see. What do you think the best thing about becoming a man would be? We'll start with you, Max.
Peeing standing up is probably top of the list because it takes a lot of time to pee as a woman. I'm just gonna say it.
Okay.
I mean,
I disagree. It's not the greatest thing. I actually prefer peeing sitting down. Honestly, sometimes just
everybody tilted their head to the side at the same time.
Groundbreaking information.
What?
I'm lazy as shit. I'm not even fucking. I'll get up.
I know too much about you. I know too much about you.
Listen, you're my homie, and if you want, I'll edit that out for you.
God damn.
Or I'll make that the title of the episode. Peace sitting down.
Do what you will with that information. Okay.
I was also going to say not having lady parts would be awesome sometimes because they are high maintenance, and I don't feel like dicks are high maintenance. I'm just going to say they just kind of hang there, so you don't have to like go to a doctor every year to get it inspected, make sure it's up to par.
Unless you're uncut. You got a lot more maintenance that way.
You just gotta wash them more often, or better.
You never know. You could have woke up uncircumcised.
Yeah, that's true.
I could have woken up with,
Yeah, and that's also, by the way, not your choice. I mean, until it's too late, I think. Or you could probably still do it as a grown man. I don't think that would be.
It's just a longer recovery.
Yeah.
I would 100%.
I'd want to be in a medically induced coma.
Seriously, I don't want to wake up until the pain is gone.
Until this shit is healed. Oh, my dick's different today.
Right. Oh, I got a better looking dick now. That's normal.
I would want just to be hit in the dick when I had one, so I could understand how painful it is.
No.
Yeah.
Because I'm not staying a man, right? Jeff is just here for the month. So I would want to experience it so that I would be more understanding when it happens to you guys.
You don't want that to happen.
Because I think you guys are super dramatic.
You know what's funny?
Oh.
I thought that the women would be deeper in being a man versus like us being a woman, and I feel like we were all deep, and they're like, yeah, right. I just want to see what it's like to have a dick.
Swing that thing around.
Jeff, what would what do you think?
Women unsolicited.
What do you think, Jeff? The best thing would be about being a man.
So I think the best thing about being a man would be being able. So I mean, no matter right now, it's still kind of like a man's world. I mean, women are moving up and up and up, and we're having higher positions in political roles and other stuff, but men typically kind of still run the world. And, you know, if I get hate for that, I get hate for that. But I think it'd be really nice to be a man in a super high position, and then stand up for the women as a mechanic, and then stand up for the women.
Okay.
Get paid better.
Make more money. No doubt.
There is a bias on that.
You'd be heard more.
Y'all haven't seen my OnlyFans transaction statement as Gabrielle.
Gabrielle, that hoe.
All right. What do you think would be the biggest challenge?
Stereotypes.
Go on.
I think as men, you know, and I can speak for myself, you know, as a woman, when I was dating, you know, I want to date a man's man. I don't want to date a pussy, but I don't want to date someone who's not sensitive and doesn't, you know, respect my feelings. So I want to date someone who, you know, basically the perfect random man, and no one's like that. So I think as a man, you're expected to be the provider, and you're expected to, you know, do more of the physical work, do the lawn work, be strong and be protecting. I think men have a tough job trying to, you know, do it all.
That's not much different than what Belle said about being a woman, though.
Right. It's kind of not. Because I was talking about it with Eric upstairs, but like I do think that, you know, I think men get stereotyped a lot. You know, you don't want to be with someone who's overly sensitive and cries at a fucking movie.
I cry at movies.
Crying at a movie.
All the time, though, but like overly sensitive. Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you want to be with someone who's you know, tough and who's going to protect you.
Man, if you weren't shooken up when Iron Man died, like seriously.
For real.
For real, like
For
even
real.
every man.
I've seen it
every
like
man in that-
7 times and I still get choked up.
Yep.
Love you 3,000. Gay. Gay.
What about you, Max?
I was gonna say something along the same lines, like the expectation of just knowing shit, like how to do shit around the house, like plumbing and fucking yard work, and I'd have to learn how to take the trash out. That's unfortunate. but just like knowing shit. That's the expectation that you know shit.
Oh shit.
You know what, though? I, as a man, I can identify with you. I've said there have been several points in life and several people I've dealt with that if for whatever reason they weren't comfortable or they weren't happy or wasn't a great fit, they just had the ability to leave their job because they could lean on their partner. And as a man, I've never felt like I could just be like, I'm going to leave my job and I'm going to do music full time. And you provide and you figure everything out. I've never felt like I had the ability to do that. There was even a period where I hated my job, and there was no way that we could maintain the lifestyle we had if I left my job to find another one. You know what I mean? So I had to continue to work until I found something different. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
I kind of agree with you because I feel as a man, there's this pressure to, be a man. Provide, be the strong one, be the leader in the household. And so I never felt the position where I could just be like, I'm going to chill, you take care of everything, and I'm just going to stay home. And I don't even know if I would be comfortable just staying at home. You know what I mean? Like, and I respect the guys that allow their spouses to be the breadwinner and go out and excel in their careers while they stay home and take care of the family. I think I would go batshit crazy. I don't disagree with it. I think it's fine, but I think I would go batshit crazy.
Also, though, separate from that point would be trying to decipher the mixed signals of women. Like if I was
that.
I was waiting for one of y'all to say it.
I'm a woman, and it's confusing to be a woman, and I'm sure it's confusing for a man to be near a woman. Like
I would
it's
never,
just confusing.
I would never be able to be a lesbian because I could not with a woman.
It's tough. Just being with a woman brain, it's like 17 windows are open all the time, constantly, and you have to like, which thing am I thinking about in this very second? Like, it would be cool to just be like,
she's really thinking. Is she telling me how she really feels?
Right.
I mean, it's not just a challenge for the fact that like you definitely don't get the mind reader talent or superpower whenever you become a man. That's the complete opposite, in fact. But on top of that, you like, I think there are probably some intelligent points that also get lowered when you gain a penis because the blood is supposed to go to the brain, but then it doesn't. And you're like, I don't know why I just got so stupid all of a sudden and made stupid choices because there's another part of your body that's thinking for you.
You're like, oh no, it's hard. I can't think anymore.
My brain shut down. All I can think about is like a zombie. Like, I need vagina now.
There are some dumbass decisions that get made around a hard dick.
Okay.
Probably both ways. But here's another challenge you guys didn't think about. You're going to have to ask women what the fuck they want to eat. And not get a straight answer.
I thought about that earlier today, making all the decisions for food. I try. It's difficult, though. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like I read somewhere that there's a key to that, and you're supposed to say, I'm going to have to look it up, but there's like a...
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can explain it if you want.
What was it?
It was
go
like,
ahead.
I think it was like you're saying like, oh man, what's your favorite restaurant or something like that? Or you kind of ask a trick question, and then the answer to that is where you go eat.
Yeah, that one. That's probably what I would do is Jeff.
Unless they ate there like this week, then they may not want to go back. So then you got to come to plan B, and that usually goes off to plan C and D. I didn't want to pass up this benefit of being a dude because you don't have to shave nearly as much.
I was going to say, there's a lot less real estate to shave.
You don't really have to shave. You can let it all grow out. and nobody's going to blink twice, especially in today's age with the whole beard idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still important to trim and manscape from time to time. Grooming is important, but you don't have to shave your entire legs, underarms, all this, you know.
Damn, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Well, yeah, I didn't think about that either. You guys don't, I mean, I guess some men wear makeup and stuff, but you guys don't generally, if you guys have a pimple, you don't cover it up. You guys don't put on mascara to make your eyelashes longer. You know what I mean? Like, you guys live your best life and you're just who you are.
See, Gabriella would have laser hair removal and get waxed.
There you go.
No doubt.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
She needs to for her OnlyFans account.
Is that a tax write-off?
Oh shit! All right. Flip the page here. You know what? I'm gonna ask a different question that's out on the list. I'm going off the rails here.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
What kind of woman would each of your male alter egos date?
If you want to date women.
If I wanted to date a woman.
Right. Or who would you date, rather? Danielle was very clear that she would not want to date a woman as either sex.
I mean, if you really want to try it out, it's probably a little easier to find a, willing woman than a gay man that's also willing.
Well, I probably would go for someone super girly. That's just if I'm Max and I'm suave, I'm gonna go for someone super girly because that's just how it is.
Super girly, as in like shops all the time.
Like what?
Shops all the time. Does makeup every day.
Right on time with the misogynistic comment. Last week it was I'd probably be able to cook better as a woman. I'd have to learn to cook as a woman.
That'd be the first thing I'd try to learn how to do. Get my ass in the kitchen.
Less bitching and more kitchen.
That should be a t-shirt.
How did you get beat up by Matthew McKenzie?
And then show up at a feminist rally.
Wow.
Oh, God. All right. Moving on.
What about you, Jeff? What about you, Jeff?
So I think Jeff would be into an independent woman who likes to do her own thing. I picture Jeff, he's a mechanic, so I see that he probably rides a motorcycle, which is not something that I personally am into as a female. I don't look for guys who like motorcycles. It's just the image I have in my head of Jeff. And while he's out doing his own thing, the girl that he likes is independent and can hold it down on her own, but she's probably a good cook because when Jeff gets home, bitch is hungry. And she's got a cook. And I don't see it being Jeff.
Wait a minute. Does this give me a pass? Jeff would expect the same damn thing.
That's really what I think Jeff would be into. But I also think that Jeff, Jeff was a little wild in his younger years, and he's more mature now. And he's still immature, as most men are. But he is interested now in making sure that he found someone to give him good children and that would raise these kids well.
Okay.
So I think it depends on which part of Jeff's life you're looking at.
Jeff needs to understand that these hoes ain't loyal.
Yeah.
I have a question. What do you mean most men are immature?
Just what I said.
Stay space.
No. I was just curious.
I think most men are immature. I think especially, men don't mature at the same rate that women do. So it takes you guys a hell of a lot longer to grow up. Mm-hmm. Maybe grow up's not the word, but to mature a little bit. But But I think men's sense of humors can, when they're younger, they're super immature and they're focused on, pussy all the time and, only fan accounts and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't think women, generally, I don't see women focusing on that as much as you see men focusing on that.
Have
generally.
you been on Pornhub lately?
I haven't. But
anyway.
Awkward.
So the fact that we think about pussy often makes us immature?
So, okay. Can I cut in here?
Yeah, no, it was just, it was just an interesting thought.
So men, long before you mature, you can stick your dick in something and that's cool, whatever. In a woman, a man, whatever. But a woman, as soon as they mature, they have this immense responsibility, and this thing that like randomly bleeds for a week every month, and the consequences of your actions if you like have unprotected sex, like the consequences are like ever present as soon as you turn like what, fucking 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
So like we have all this responsibility that a man would not know about until like they start to mature and think, gee, maybe I should protect myself so that this doesn't occur to a woman. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying it's always a responsibility to have a vagina.
It's more of a responsibility to have a vagina. I'm not saying that, men, especially in this instance, I'm not saying that men don't step up and, if you do knock someone up and you don't stick around, but you don't have to, right? The woman still has to decide what to do, whether or not she decides to have an abortion or whether she decides to give a baby up for adoption or she decides to have a baby when, she's young and not ready. That's a big decision to make, to be thinking about at the age of 13.
Right. And legally, though, men don't have a whole lot of choice. Well, let me go back. I'm not talking about whether you have an abortion or not. That's your body. You do with whatever you wish. That's none of my business. However, if you two have a conversation and you say, let's say Jeff and Vivian got it on, Vivian's pregnant, Jeff doesn't want anything to do. Matt's like, Vivian always wears her diaphragm. Vivian definitely uses diaphragm as a birth protection method.
It's not fair.
Anywho, if Jeff got somebody pregnant, right, and that woman, it's her right to decide what she's going to do with her body and her child growing inside of her. And Jeff says, listen, I'm not ready. I don't want to commit to this. And Vivian says, that's cool. Jeff still financially is responsible for that child without having a decision. Because he doesn't. It's your body. Not your body, but it's the woman's body.
I do think, and unpopular opinion maybe, yes, it's the woman's body 100%. But I do think you're allowed to have an opinion. I feel like, yes, it's, if I decide as Danielle that I'm pregnant and, I want to have an abortion, Eric's still allowed to have an opinion about that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not his decision.
Right.
But it's definitely an opinion that he's allowed to have.
Right.
Ultimately my decision, but I think guys are still allowed the opinion on tough
sure.
topics.
But if your opinion is that you don't want to have children, but this person does, and you it's always your risk. I've always told my sons, whoever you sleep with, keep in mind that you might have to deal with that person for the rest of your life, depending on what could happen. And if you decide to have a child and you decide you want to be in that child's life, you have to deal with that person for the rest of their life. But if you don't want children and that person does, I don't know. I can swing this to a whole nother topic. I'm not going to get into it.
I'll say this. I think Jeff and Max, if you don't put it on your priority list to learn how to pull out, you're in real trouble, okay?
Well,
100%.
I learned in health class that pulling out doesn't always work, so I'm going to use protection as a responsible male.
I think the pull-out method works really well.
You don't really have a penis, all right?
Okay.
How do you guys deal with rejection? So as Matt had alluded to, like in certain instances, women have more power. And so when you're out, and I don't know how it is to be a woman, but like if you're out at a bar or so any kind of social setting and you want to hit on the opposite sex, typically the male is the person that is more succumb to rejection because they lead off the charge. They go first to somebody to say, "Hey, I'm Matt. How you doing?" or whatever Matt says. So now you're those people. I don't know. I don't have the book in. I don't have the book in my back pocket, so I don't know.
Hey, like that mustard over there?
Hey, girl. Yeah, you over there.
Hey, girl.
You over there in aisle 14.
You like that honey Dijon, huh?
I like
anyway.
Spicy mustard.
Spicy brown.
He's like, hey, girl, don't get the Great Value brand. It's worth the extra couple cents to get the. I can't think of the mustard brand. Anyway, the joke's dead. How do you deal with now having to be the one who typically approaches the person you're attracted to and possibly getting rejected?
I think that's got to be really hard, as a man to, like I said, stereotype, you expect the man to make the first move. Generally expect, the man to buy you a drink first. And I think that, without having never thought of it, it's got to be tough on, the man to, put yourself out there every time and then buy the girl a drink and she goes to the dance floor and leaves you because she's not interested and she only wanted you to buy her a drink. I know because I've done it.
I mean, you can also understand, like, there's ladies' nights. There's no men nights.
Right.
I mean, depending on what city or what part of a city you're in.
Unless it's at the Blue Oyster Bar.
I'm just saying, like, depending on what kind of, atmosphere you want to be in, typically, you don't want to be in a sausage fest unless that's the way you swing. By all means, that's where you want to be. But if you're looking for women, you're still paying at the door,
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, these little nuances, these little changes and shifts that, like, you kind of don't really think about. And I guess as a woman, you could take for granted, but also as a man, there are several things obviously we take for granted.
That's right. You can't just go out to the bar with $2 and get fucked up.
Right.
And still have a great time. But the creeps, though, that's a give and take, man. I don't know. That's a hard thing to like even. Here's the problem. That I kind of believe in nice guys finish last. Like there's obviously different what's the word I'm looking for, like exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, nice guys kind of finish last. She's gonna take a drink. You're gonna get rejected. You're gonna have to learn how to deal with rejection real fucking quick. And then on top of that, like if you want to stand out, you got to learn how to balance not being a fucking creep. But also kind of being super cool, like Max Powers or Jeff the Beard guy, who's got great jokes.
Well, let me ask you too. How would you handle rejection? Like, would you be like, "I ain't like you that much anyway, bitch," or like, would you just gracefully bow out?
I really don't know. I really don't know. I would like to think, that. It wouldn't affect me too much. And honestly, I feel like if I'm going out to a bar, I'm not looking for a relationship anyway. I'm probably just looking for a lay. Which, if you're not interested, someone else will be.
That's still the woman attitude. Well,
I don't really know how to answer the question.
I had a follow-up to that shit. I forgot what the fuck it was. Damn active listening. Damn active listening messes up my efficiency. Handle rejection. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember what the other question was, but while I think about it, Max, what would be like? How would you approach a lady in a social situation?
Well, I'd like to think it would be similar to what?
Hey, I'm Max.
Max.
We know Jeff's just walking up to the counter and flopping his big dick on the counter. So
see what I got.
Oh well.
You have to be this tall to ride.
I think Jeff has the upper hand because he's super burly. I don't know. I think I would be like cool, but I think it would be like similar to how I am now. I don't usually like. I haven't had to date in like 12 years or something, so I really don't know. But I probably wouldn't go seeking social situations. I'd probably just get to know people in regular situations, and then I don't usually go for something that's not like a sure thing. Like with Andrew, I knew I got him, whatever. I'm just saying, I go for a sure thing. Okay. I don't take bets.
I'm trying to approach it, thinking about like when I would go out, what I find, when someone approaches me, what I find to be receptive. And I do like funny guys. So like when a guy comes up to me and he gives me some cheesy pickup line, like I think that shit's hilarious. I want you to buy me a drink. I want to talk to you. I think it is so funny.
Of course.
That's probably what I would do.
What did you say, Matt?
I said I was trying to tell you guys episode 25, Sarcastically Sincere. Like I was trying to say, like the hardest part is just being able to approach a woman and say anything. The cheesier and funnier it is, the better chance you have to actually buy that drink for her, have a conversation.
Right, because if you can make her laugh, like that's going to at least keep her there long enough to talk to you while you're waiting for the bartender to make you a drink.
Okay. What do you think you will have learned after having been a man for however long you have been a man? Like, what lessons do you think you'll have taken away?
Let's see. Going from woman to man to woman, I would probably know better, like, how to communicate in ways that are more clear, like that a man could maybe understand a little better.
Okay.
Well, just talk like you're a 5-year-old. I think that'll work.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'll try that on my husband later.
They love that.
They love that. Communication. I'm going to say how to navigate communication a little more effectively. Hopefully.
Okay. I
think my answer would probably be, as a woman now, to be less judgy about how a guy is. Like, stop having expectations on what, I think they should be. I think they should be manly? Do I think that they should be, super smart? Do I feel like they should be the provider in the household? Stop being so judgy as a female towards men and realize that, they're people too, and that you guys have all different sides to yourself, just the same that women do as well,
Yeah, we're fucking up.
What do you think, Matt? How do you think how do you think Jeff and Max would survive as men?
I have one more question for him, though, before I get to my
first.
Okay. Ladies, I'm sorry, Max and Jeff. Would you feel as though you would know how to be chivalrous, or would you even try to be chivalrous, with this newfound penis you have, to not want to whip it out on every girl you see?
I think...
Is chivalry not whipping your dick out? I'm not sure. Is that a thing?
I'm just saying, like, there's two ends of the spectrum here.
You said the two things together, like...
I know. I meant, like, two ends of the spectrum. It's like either you're the kind of guy that is a total creep, total, jerk about things, and then, or you're Mr. Nice Guy and super chivalrous. And I mean, like, how, would you even, like, care to even try chivalry for a while? That's an important...
I would be chivalrous as fuck.
Being a woman, I would definitely, be the type of guy that opens doors for another woman.
That's what I was thinking chivalry was, not just like not whipping your dick out.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm talking about the other end of the spectrum, but I mean, you might find out then. You might find out then why there's so many men out there. Also, a good mentor is a good reason, but why there's so many men out there that are no longer chivalrous, because it's not appreciated. And not as much.
I disagree. I think if it's not appreciated, you're not around the right type of woman.
No, but that's a valid point too. But as you guys said, it'd be different being rejected as a man, and even those young events. And you guys heard me tell some of those horror stories that I went through. It changes fundamentally how you act, especially when you see guys that maybe less chivalrous or a little bit more aggressive, and when you're you're growing up and you're in high school and middle school and shit, and you're seeing your peers that are kind of like maybe dickheads a little bit, you start to formulate this thing in your head that, well, that's the way to get women because this guy does it. I've been nice, and I get told I'm like a brother or a friend box because I'm too nice.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in high school, you know, I would, you know, borrow some of my sister's clothing because she was old. She was 4.5 years older than me and was allowed to wear different clothes than I was allowed to wear. But I'm not dumb, and I know that men are more attracted, or boys, whatever, are more attracted to girls who show off their assets more. So I would steal my sister's clothes, and I would wear stuff that, you know, I thought that men would like to see me in because then I'd be more attractive. And that's, you know, that's, I think, all a part of growing up. I think you learn what, you know, now sitting here as an adult, like, you know, I don't care so much about, you know, physical attraction is super, super important. Don't get me wrong. But honestly, that's not the top fundamental part of a relationship for me, because I think there's 10 times more important things when it comes to being in a relationship and what I find to be important.
I think you're right, though, because I think when you're modeling when you're modeling trying to, you know, you get rejected so many times and you see the popular guy or the jock and he's different than you. And so you're doing that to get women, and it may work, which it has, but then now you're probably attracting the wrong type of person for you.
Right.
As far as my verdict goes, honestly, Ramon, I don't think they last a day. After they get tired out from swinging dicks, finding out real hard, real quick. You know, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. You got to develop a lot of tough skin real quick. You know, I mean, especially like if you're at day one and you're already a grown man, oh, you're fucked. I mean, this takes years to develop.
That's true.
So you're saying they're going to go out one day and then come back and then just play with their dicks until they turn back into women?
Probably, you know. I mean, it's going to take. I don't know. It would take more time. As I also know, it would take more time to get used to being a woman.
Absolutely.
But you know, especially like I said, walk a mile in their shoes, and that would completely change my perspective. I'm sure I'd have several epiphanies, but I like being a dude just because, you know, I'm a low maintenance kind of dude. I don't want any more high maintenance body parts.
Gabriella will wear hot, expensive shoes all the time too.
Oh yeah, heels.
She made heels all the time.
How do y'all do that shit?
I don't know. Still haven't figured it out. I fall on my face. That's how that works.
I used to wear heels a lot, like when I would go out and stuff, but Eric is not much taller than me. So when Eric and I became like a serious couple, I got rid of all my high heels.
Oh.
So if I had to give you a warning though, there's two warnings. First is that, you know, choosing to be a man is kind of like choosing to be Batman over Superman. If you had the choice to be either one, you're choosing to be Batman, which is cool, but you're not Superman. Does that make sense? Like you don't have the superpowers.
Anyway.
What?
Superman's whack. Has no dimension.
Anyway,
whack.
All I'm saying is
worst
the power.
character ever.
You got these supernatural powers, you know, that don't come with being a man. But the other thing is, like, you got to really be careful about getting kicked in the balls. Getting kicked in the dick, I assume is pretty much as painful. But I only distinctly remember getting kicked in the balls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I played hockey. Trust me, that's no joke. Like, you really are immobilized, unless you don't have any, I guess.
Or the worst is when you have a baby and they're starting to walk and they're getting their leg muscles strong and you're holding the baby and they got them white baby shoes that they have on to learn to fucking walk and then they pound right on your nuts. That's terrible. Because it's a baby. You can't really throw it.
Right. Contrary, I'm thinking about if I were, I did say that, if I was a man and I was Jeff, I would want to be kicked in the, the balls and the penis just to know what it's like. But also stop and think just for a second what it's like to be growing a person inside of your body.
Well, that's also a choice, usually.
Or, hold on. Even if you're not pregnant, menstruating is like having a double-headed dragon inside of your uterus that randomly will get angry and make you bleed for once a month for a week straight. So that's not a choice.
You know, it's interesting that Danielle wanted to experience that, to understand, and neither one of us were jumping in line. I don't know about Matt, but I was hoping that my month or so as a woman I would wake up right after my period, and then right before my period, I'm a man again.
That's not fair.
I told you I'd be looking for a cure for that thing, man.
Pregnancy, that's a cure for it.
It's not a good cure because vagina pain happens when you're pregnant too.
Vagina pain.
Vagina pain.
Vagina pain is no fucking joke. I work for maternal fetal medicine, and women will come in, when they're like 20 weeks and up and they're uncomfortable, and I'm like, it's the vagina pain, isn't it? And they're like, my vagina hurts. I'm like, no one tells you about vagina pain. Everyone talks about the miracle of life, but no one wants to talk about the vagina pain.
I gotta say though, I mean, I still think that being a woman is still more popular than being a man. I don't know how many lesbians that you might know that maybe one of them looks more like a guy, as opposed to how many men cross-dress to be women or actually go through procedures to become women. And I think it's just more popular to be a woman in today's day and age. So I don't know. I think that the like everything's tilting kind of towards women on that one.
Well, women are great.
I'm saying, it's
you
like
were wondering
Batman
too, Belle. Like, what did you base that on?
Like, what is
I'm saying it's like picking Batman or Superman. Really, you got the pros and cons for both.
Yeah.
To sum up, though, while it was fun, I think the more I thought about it, like I would not want to be the opposite sex. I have a lot of respect for you guys and your challenges, and I don't want to fucking deal with them. I think we as men have our own challenges, and I'm good with those. But I think I would date Gabriella though. She's a hot bitch.
I would definitely date Jeff.
I would date Jeff too. Shit. Vivian, you stay in your old folks' home, okay?
Yeah, Vivian.
Matt's like, I would take crochet lessons from Vivian.
I mean, Vivian can get it no matter how old she is.
I mean, but I want to point out that that's his wheelhouse with the ladies. Like, old ladies love Matt, like, for real. I've seen it. Yeah. It's crazy. So I'm saying that's what he attracts. That's what he was thinking of.
Matt's going to be boyish charm. I'm sorry, only Danielle or a Grey's Anatomy person will get this. Matt's going to be the guy with Hunt's mother.
Yeah, he would.
That's what you guys get last week for your fucking Walking Dead conversation. Oh, shit. No, great conversation. I didn't ask you guys. You guys don't want to be men, right? After kind of pondering this.
I don't want to be a man, but I do feel like, I've honestly never thought of putting myself in man's shoes. This has never been anything. I've literally never thought of this before. So I do feel like now that after having like this conversation, I can be a little bit more understanding. And I wish I had known this when I was younger, when I was dating, when I was going out to the bars and that kind of stuff, to be more sympathetic kind of to how hard it is to be a man in a bar trying to pick up a woman or talk to a woman or get to know someone, you know what I mean? If I had known that now, maybe I would have been a little bit nicer. Not that I wasn't nice, because I am a nice person, but I definitely would have been more sympathetic and understanding to how difficult it is to approach someone and, put yourself out there like that with, no idea what's going to happen.
I will say this, what helps, getting let down, what really helps is being called nice names like, oh, I'm sorry, sweetie, I'm not interested. The word "sweetie" really diffuses the whole situation. You're
See,
like,
I would feel demeaned.
She did say "sweetie."
Hey. Sweetheart. That's why you like that.
Well, I mean, it's the male version of "sweetie."
You know what's funny
sweetheart.
too?
Right.
The other day, I said to Susan, like, "Listen, sweetheart." She's like, "You're not Matt, and don't fucking call me sweetheart."
Yo, I swear it comes across condescending on accident. Okay, like that is not supposed to be condescending.
Okay.
Sweetheart to me is right up there with like being calling a woman a broad.
Listen here, broad.
Less bitch and more kitchen.
Oh no.
Oh my God, give me a T-shirt.
Belle, you heard it, right?
What?
She's not making that T-shirt.
T-shirt.
Even if I cash apped you?
That's on femininity.
Even if I cash apped you?
No. Oh God. I'm not a whore for money. It's
Yo,
a principle
seriously?
thing.
You gonna sell out? Is that what you're gonna do? You gonna sell out?
Gabriella would have made the T-shirt and taken the cash app.
There's no doubt.
Can I have my gender back, please?
Oh shit!
You.
Can I have my gender back, please?
You can gladly take your gender back.
Thank you.
But finishing on a serious note, I highly respect the challenges and things that you guys go through. I don't understand the way your brains work sometimes, and it's confusing. But nonetheless, I'm sure the feeling's mutual. So it just having a mutual respect and taking a pause and understanding. There's this funny joke that women can't be producers because they have to use logic and reason, because those are two programs you make music in. So what I've learned as an adult, though, is not to analyze how a woman is feeling based on how I would analyze the situation. And so I've tried to take a role to more actively listen. With that said, I think women should take the role to kind of understand we need a more linear path to your point sometimes, and not just
all over the place.
Linear path to the point. Say what you mean. Get there quicker. And if everybody could kind of collaborate and meet in the middle on that one, I think overall communication between the sexes would be a whole hell of a lot better.
If only.
It's possible.
Communication.
I'm really anxious, I think, when it goes on social media to find out what other people think about these same things. I'm curious to hear what our followers say.
Yeah, and well, where are our followers at?
Oh, sorry, it took me a second.
You just lobbed a softball there.
You didn't call her Jack. She didn't know.
I didn't know. I was stuck in my Jeff mode. All right. So you can find us on Instagram and on Facebook at DAMAGD Goods, or on Twitter at DAMAGD Goods, the number 1. You can listen to us on SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iTunes, and Spotify. Yeah.
It's funny, Belle, when me and you were dancing and I put the music in the episode later, we're probably going to be way off beat.
Anyway, don't worry about
it. Anybody have any final words?
Yeah, I have another final thought. Also, make sure to stop over and listen to Sarcastically Sincere. I'm not sure what episode they're on. You guys, what number are we on now?
When this one comes out, we'll be on 35.
All right. Yeah, definitely listen. They are hilarious. Just don't listen to it at work.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that, because I keep having to say that, and people just keep doing it.
Right.
Yep.
Not safe for work.
No.
Not safe for kids. Not safe for work. Not safe for your loved ones.
Yeah,
probably.
like it's funny too, because you probably are unsuspecting to listen. Like, these guys got nice voices, and then you hear, "Tell me, bestie, what's a dill pickle?" Make that one up. There you go.
Dill pickle.
I think that one's already been made up, sir.
I don't know. That's the first thing I thought of.
Phallic shape.
Oh, bestie.
$20 is $20. Come on over and listen to another episode of ours.
All right. No, this was fun. We should do this more often.
Great hybrid.
Huh?
Yeah.
Great hybrid.
the hybrid.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we look forward to inviting you guys onto a Sarcastically Sincere episode that you guys can pick, and we will completely murder for you.
I think we've agreed that Belle is the new production manager.
Oh, okay. Well, you can pick a topic. Okay,
bring me the ideas, and I will write them up.
And she'll write them up for you, and we can crack it up and have as many laughs as possible.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you guys all for joining. I hope you enjoyed both episodes.
Yep.
Remember to take care of yourselves, take care of your well-being, still try and get exercise of some sort, stay kind of active, take care of your wellness. That's important. And we'll get through it all. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Got to work on it. A little rusty. All right. I got mixes. Huh?
I said hashtag alone together.
Alone together. Wow. Hashtag, I'm going to let you guys go because I got mixes to do and some other shit, some fucking homework. And yeah, that's it. Never mind.
I've got wine to deliver. It's time to go.
Oh, the wine fairy thing. We should have talked about that, but we'll save it for next week.
All right.
All right.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Tiffany Productions.